interesting was who has been the most underrated player so far this season. And they had big, I don't know if you guys see this, they had Nico O'Reilly on the graphic, which I think is a shout. Obviously, his stocks are high now after the game played so well against Salah.
Underrated players.
The most underrated players of the season. Because I was going through some of the comments. I commented saying Matthias de Ligt because I'm a massive fan of Matthias de Ligt. And then people saying Nico O'Reilly. What other things? What other ones we've got here? Mateus Nunes from Man City.
Yeah.
Urian Timber. And then someone said Mbeumo.
I feel like he's rated though. I feel like who's not rating Urian Timber?
Yeah, I think everyone rates him.
I don't think he should be in the list because I feel like everyone rates him.
Yeah. I feel like he was underrated in the way of no one rated him because he was injured for a season.
Zubimendi is a good shout.
Zubimendi's a great shout.
And also, to be fair, everyone that you've just put in there, Ken, is a good one. Granit Xhaka, what he's been doing at Sunderland, unreal.
But is that underrated? I think everyone's agreeing that Xhaka has been amazing this season.
Yeah, fair. I think Zubimendi is a good one because I think there's so much praise that probably goes on other players at Arsenal that maybe he doesn't like. He kind of just goes under the radar maybe a little bit because considering I'm in this building a lot, I don't actually hear them. I don't hear them chime on loads about Zubimendi. Do you?
Jack does.
Apart from Jack,
that's it. Well, because Zubimendi's, I feel he might. Yeah, like you might class him as underrated because he's not one who gets loads of camera time, quote unquote.
Do you know who's someone who's been so good?
Yeah.
Ndiaye of Everton.
Oh, he's been awesome.
He's been brilliant.
Yeah.
That would be my pick.
I feel like there's a 55 million move to like Bayern Munich being lined up for him, something like that. I feel like he's been awesome this season. Yeah. Like, a lot of people are saying de Ligt, man. Like,
keep it moving.
Look, I go on de Ligt all the time. Oh, someone says Esteval. You know what? I've been well surprised with Esteval, by the way.
He's been very good. He's been very, very good. I'm trying to think who else has been.
You're saying Diouf at West Ham. I don't think you can call any West Ham player underrated.
At the minute.
Because they're like second last.
We could do overrated. Who's been overrated?
Who's been overrated this season?
Overrated this season. I think the signing of like Elanga to Newcastle was an overrated one.
Massively overrated.
That's a hugely overrated one. And I was actually a really big fan of Elanga.
Well, he was the first of the pack, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Of like this Premier League to Premier League stuff. Elanga went, and then everyone, or Igor Thiago, Kenyon just said in the chat,
yes,
huge.
Obviously. Simmons, hugely disappointing so far.
Oh yeah, I was saying Igor Thiago was underrated.
Oh yeah, Igor Thiago is
he's second top scorer of the season. Yeah. He's on like 8 goals.
Massively underrated.
Crazy.
Simmons would be in there. Wirtz would be in there. Basically, everyone apart from Ekitike when we come to Liverpool.
Yes.
Everyone apart from Ekitike. Simmons. What about anyone from your side? Been a bit underrated by Cunha?
Saying what underrated signings?
Have you been a bit underrated by him?
No, I'm very happy with Cunha.
Overrated?
No, I think he's been what I thought he would be.
Just asking.
Yeah. He's going to get better. Šeško obviously has been the world's greatest signing so far. Gyökeres is an interesting one, because he scored like 4 Prem goals for them, 6 in all competitions, brace against Atletico Madrid. But it's the rest of it, which is a bit like he looks a bit like he doesn't quite know what's going on yet.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say that he's been an overrated or underrated signing. He's not been at the horses or at the races. But like I give like when Laurie's on here, I sometimes give him a bit of lip about Gyökeres. Basically saying he looks a bit like a donkey at the minute because he does. He looks a little bit like he's got the Timberland boots on.
Yeah.
But it's you can't really knock it because Arsenal are top of the league.
That's a good shout, Krupi at Bournemouth.
Krupi, he's been amazing.
Yeah, that's a great shout. Damsgaard, he's been the most underrated.
What, from Bournemouth? Brentford?
Yeah.
I think a lot of the Brentford squad have been you could probably just say every Brentford player, isn't it? Because I had
the
them
manager,
to go,
even Keith Andrews.
Yeah, I had them to go down.
Reinders, okay, expected more because he had such a strong start to the season, didn't he?
He's done nothing since the opening day against Wolves. They beat Wolves 4-2 and he got a goal and assist.
Overrated.
2-month injury.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's just the Liverpool transfers, isn't it? Why don't you mention Cunha as being overrated? He's not been I don't think he's been overrated at all.
Do you know what I would say? I think he's a very, very good player. I think that he probably hasn't been as influential at United. I think Mbeumo's been the stand.
Yeah. Cunha's been a 6 out of 10 for us so far. So nothing bad, but nothing standout. But that's partly because the way we've been using him a bit as a bit of a utility so far.
Yeah.
And I don't want to use in terms of formation and goals, he's been a little bit of a sacrificial lamb.
Yeah.
Right? We played him up front against Liverpool, where basically his job was to not win duels.
Yeah.
Like, how you meant to score and have a good game beyond just doing that if that was your set? The whole instruction was, we're going to ping it up to you. You need to lose it to Van Dijk, and our midfield will collect it, and then you then pass it on.
Yeah.
Like, when you've got an instruction like that, I'd say his game against Liverpool and then the one against Brighton, where he did play back on the left, where he's at his best, he's been great. I think the first couple of games of the season, where he played through the middle against Fulham, he was fantastic.
Yeah.
When we lost to Arsenal, he was incredible. But then, and then other games such as the one against Grimsby, Brentford, and Nottingham Forest, not the world's best games from him. But it's just he's not scored goal. He scored one goal, but he's warranted more. And I think he's had a number of good games mixed in with a number of subpar games. But I can't really bash him for what he's done so far, because in terms of what he's been told to do, he's done it well 8 out of 10 times.
Okay, fair.
But he's just not got the goals or assists yet. Whereas Mbumo is just incredible.
Well,
and he's just scored. He's got 5 goals so far this season.
Energy.
Premier League Player of the Month, our Player of the Month twice.
What do you think then in terms of Benjamin Sesko? Like, where do you think that goes for the rest of the season? Like, what do you want?
Šeško.
Well, obviously, I know what you'll want to see out of him for the rest of the season, but what do you think actually probably the ceiling is for him this season?
He'll get better, but I just think he needs, as we've seen with so many signings from the Bundesliga, it seems to just take an extra couple months.
Why is that though?
I think it's just the translation of the league. It's one of the hardest leagues to translate to, Bundesliga to Premier League, I think. That's not me necessarily making excuses from. I think that's just like historically.
Let's also do, while we're on this underrated, overrated chat, let's do underrated and overrated teams of the season. Obviously, Liverpool would be on the side where we've overrated them.
Liverpool massively overrated this season.
Overrated from where we.
Let's get the Premier League table.
Where we left off. And
I was sat here saying to Alex, anything less than a league title is a failure of a season.
100%.
And I back it completely. Although I said the same about Chelsea.
Champions League.
I don't know, retaining the Premier League title.
Share with me this. Let's have a browse. Guys, send
another overrated team I would put is Fulham. I think they've lost 6 games this season. They've got a pretty decent squad. Last season, where did Fulham finish last season? Fulham finished 11th. Actually, no. Where are they currently?
17th? 15th.
15th. But they're literally at 1 point off relegation. Fulham haven't been great. Newcastle as well. But their summer... Actually, no, you know what? Newcastle I don't think have been overrated because they had such a poor summer. The summer, not they had a poor summer. The summer went so badly for them.
Yeah, the summer did go so bad.
They missed out on their first 3 choice targets.
They still spent a fair amount of money.
But they received a fair amount of money.
They did, but they still spent a fair amount of money, and they didn't really improve the squad. Despite losing Alexander Isak, they didn't do anything to actually improve it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Jan Visser is a good signing, but he's not.
He's not played for them.
He hasn't played for them. Firstly,
they signed an injured guy for 40 million.
I actually think that is a good bit of business. I think what they paid for Elanga was 55.